There in the distance is La Palma, the centre of Mallorca, and here is your ship. You may be wondering why I'm showing you the walkway which can walk you out of the port when there is a shuttle bus, but it's because in the morning there's often a queue for the shuttle bus, which means a lot of people do choose to walk in. It is quite some distance, but it's not impossible. And secondly, there are other options at the port.
Welcome to Palma in Mallorca. I've just walked back along the waterfront from Palma. We got the shuttle bus in. I've walked around town and I've done 14,300 steps. It is a long way. There are 4 ships in today. If you want to avoid the queues for the shuttle bus, you can hire a bike just outside the port. And there are electric bikes as well. This is also where you get the hop-on, hop-off bus.
There is also now a wide selection of free walking tours in La Palma.
The bus stops outside the port have maps showing you which bus you need to go where. It's very easy. Your shuttle bus will drop you just opposite the Gothic Cathedral.
If all you want to see is the cathedral and the palace, you may not need a tour.
This is a town where people like to ride their bikes and segway, and even if you don't want to join in that, you must make sure you don't step in the bicycle lanes or they will mow you down. This is a tree-lined market, very long along the front.
Whether you're just taking a pleasant stroll, or you're going on a free walking tour, or taking a cycle tour, hopefully Doris Visits will have helped you out just seeing the layout. Please press the subscribe button.
The Museum of Mallorca is a fascinating overview of Mallorcan history. It's got Moorish, Christian and Gothic art inside. And on Sundays, it's free. The Arab baths are just down the road from the museum. In fact, it almost feels like they're at the back of it. The Arab baths date back to approximately 10th century and are the only remaining monuments of the Muslims on the island. These baths are a really relaxing, peaceful place to have a little rest. We're leaving the baths and the Arab quarter through the medieval gate. The Plaza de Santa Eulalia is a pretty place to stop with its cafes and its church. The Plaza Mayor is buzzing and well worth a visit. Wandering through the streets of La Palma is a delight. Apart from the lovely ice cream shops everywhere, the architecture is so interesting. It's just worth a wander. Overlooking the harbour is the Llotja, which is the exchange, and it's said to be one of the finest civic Gothic buildings in Spain. This Gothic cathedral was founded in 1235 by James I of Aragon, and the limestone changes colour throughout the day in the light.
Now, churches may not be your thing, and it may not be an instant yes to going around and seeing this cathedral, but I'm certainly with Stephen Fry, who, although he's an outspoken atheist, has frequently expressed a deep love for the admiration of the architecture and music of churches. And as Kevin Costner said in Field of Dreams, build it and they will come. So maybe this is one cathedral you should look inside. It is rather spectacular. The Cathedral of Santa Maria of Palma is absolutely beautiful. It's a Gothic Roman Catholic cathedral. As with all of these places, the history is perhaps a little unforgivable. The Muslims were the rulers of this land, but in 1229, Christian forces besieged the capital in December, and in capturing it, thousands of inhabitants were killed, and the city was sacked. The site of the cathedral was a mosque, and King James I immediately established a diocese in Mallorca. So that was the start of the Christian era, and the construction of the cathedral began shortly after the conquest of the island, and it continued until the 17th century. The restoration works that began in around 1903 have a little bit of Antoni Gaudi touch to them. He was invited to oversee the restoration works, and presided over a wide range of changes to the interior of this cathedral. It is, as you can guess, Palma's most popular tourist attraction.
We're starting our tour of the Almudaina Palace, which is mainly Moorish, and this is the Hall of the Fireplaces. Guess why? The Hall of the Kings is part of the Royal Audience Room.
With proof of age, there are concessions to some of these entrances, so do take a driving licence with you.
The Great Hall is the largest room in the palace and is where the Council of Ministers took place. This room is the officers' mess. The palace is now a military headquarters and is the preferred place of the King of Spain to stay when he visits Mallorca. This is the quarters of the palace guard, and when the Arab baths were built, the doorway was made to connect the two. This is the Arab baths situated between the King's Palace and the Queen's Palace, and they both shared the same baths. So possibly someone stood up there and threw buckets of water down and it was a shower.
No, I don't think so, Jean.
This way. This is the anteroom to the Queen's study, and this is the Queen's study. This room is Her Majesty the Queen's study. This is another of the King's reception rooms. The main hall is used for official receptions. The final area you'll visit in the palace is St Anne's Chapel. This is well worth a visit.
Please hit the subscribe button and see other Doris Visits films. Here's my favourite Spanish port.
This statue in the middle of Virgin Square is to represent the river which flowed over where the park is, but was then diverted after the Great Floods in October in 1957. So this is the church in the Square of the Virgin, and it's beautiful inside. I used to love reading historical novels about the Borgias. They were so wicked. They all slept with each other. They were incestuous. They poisoned each other. And there were only 2 popes from Valencia, and one of them was Alexander Borgia. In theory, if I walk to the very end of this park, it's 47 minutes, I'll come out to where the shuttle bus stops. The market closes at 3, so if you want to go and visit the market, you need to go in the morning. We've just had a very interesting walking tour where we learned that paella is not the Spanish national dish, it's from Valencia, and the Spanish national dish is Spanish omelette. Also, we learned that paella does not have seafood in it. It has chicken and rabbit and garlic, a little bit of garlic. That is the traditional paella, and no chorizo, Jamie Oliver.
And if you happen to read one of my cruise novels, there are 10 in the series, please do leave a review on Amazon. Cruise Ship Heist has been #1 3 times in 2 different countries. Enjoy your cruising.